Well, I guess more fear-mongering is in order to get everybody else in line once again. So here we have today and yesterday all these stories regarding this attempted blowing up of an airliner by some, Nigerian guy. And of course, Homeland Security cannot be outdone now, including TSA and so on. So they come up with the most knee-jerking reactions possible, which make, of course, absolutely no sense other than to them, including the new rules that they just came out with, which went out to the airlines today. Now, this is concerning inbound flights from overseas to America. So essentially, what they're telling their airline crews at this point is that 1 hour before the plane lands, nobody is supposed to get up out of their seats or use the bathroom on those planes. Furthermore, you can't have anything in your lap, heaven forbid. You have a book there, or your laptop, or whatever. And then, to top it all off, they're not even explaining these procedures to anybody. This is just basically being leaked to the press so that everybody eventually gets wind of it. And these are rules which are essentially totally unenforceable to start with. It is so idiotic that probably the term is even overused with the TSA at this point, but it's so idiotic. I mean, what is this going to solve to prevent airline passengers on international flights to use the loo, so to speak, 1 hour before the plane lands? What's the difference between 1 hour before the plane lands or 5 hours before the plane lands? If somebody wants to blow that airliner up, they can just as well do it over the Atlantic 5 hours before the plane lands. So these rules are just, what it's going to do, basically, is just going to piss off more airline passengers so that they avoid travel. And try enforcing these rules if you're part of that airline crew. Let's say some pregnant woman or elderly person needs to use the bathroom, for heaven's sake, 45 minutes before landing. So are you going to now deny them bathroom privileges? Those airlines are going to have a lot of wet seats. That is basically the ultimate joke here. And it's not that security measures don't have to be put in place. That's not the thing. The thing is that the security measures in place are idiotic at this point. And it just simply doesn't get any better than asking for airline crew to enforce some rule, some arbitrary rule that some great big thinker over at Homeland Security came up with in a matter of hours, no less, to enforce that rule actually when they're flying. What's the flight attendant going to say? She or he is going to call up into the flight deck and say, hey, I've got somebody here that needs to pee. So what's the captain or the co-pilot supposed to say to that? No, they can't pee? Well, make sure you stand right outside the door and and TSA's next answer will be, let's install a camera in the bathroom of the airplane. I think the best solution that anybody has come up with to this problem is basically the satirical website called The Onion, and I will post a link to that. In order to get rid of all these threats and problems that we have today, they had the perfect answer for it. Essentially, what we should be doing is getting rid of all air travel to the United States altogether. Just shut it down. And while we're at it, let's just shut domestic flights down as well, you know. The airlines are reeling and underwater anyway, so with these added expenses now in place, it only makes economic sense to eliminate the passengers altogether. Okay, I'll leave you with that post over at The Onion, which was posted not today, but some years ago. But I think it's pretty pertinent. Anyway, don't freak out, keep calm, and don't let Washington, D.C. rule your life. Until next time, good night.